Okay, you guys, I'm coming to you with a highly requested video. All right, so we're talking about changing fractions to decimals and decimals to fractions when we have the tenths and hundredths. All right, so to know that, you need to remember the place value chart. This is what we normally work with: ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Well, behind those whole numbers, okay, we have a decimal number. First place is the tenths place, and then we have the hundredths place. Now, so what I need you to know is whenever you see a number like this, 0, decimal, notice that I'm lining up my decimal here with that, okay? Decimal, say 5. All right? I should use black because you can't see that very well. Make that a 5. Decimal. There's no my colors. Okay, so, and I moved it back like this, so it's in that tenths with a TH. Okay, tenths place. Now, the way I say this is 5 tenths, which is the same as saying 5 over 10, which is 5 tenths. Those are the same number, okay? This is the decimal form of it, and this is the fraction form. 5 tenths is the same as 5 tenths because it's in the tenths place. Remember, this 5 here is in the tenths place, and that equals the same thing. All right, let's do another one really quick. So we have 0 in the ones place. There's no ones, but we do have, say, 6 tenths and, say, 3 hundredths. Hundredths. This is the hundredths place. I would also write this as just plain like that, okay? So don't get confused and think, why is it stretched out? I just stretch it out so you can see the place that it's in. This last digit is in the hundredths place, okay? That is the hundredths place. Now, how would I write this as a fraction? First of all, think about how you say it. You say this number just like you would any other number if it was by itself. But look at the last place it's in. It is in what place? What is this last digit? What place is that in? It is in the hundredths place. So I would just say 63, and then look at that last digit place. Hundredths. So 63 hundredths. Think about that. 63 hundredths. So when we write this as a fraction, it's still 63 100 hundredths. Hundredths. Okay, so it's real simple. It's exactly how you say it. If you say this is 63 and the last digit is what the word you say, I wouldn't say this is 63 tenths because the 6 is in a tenths place. You still have a whole nother digit back here. So remember, you say the place that the last digit falls in, okay? So I would say 63 hundredths, okay? Because that 3 is in the hundredths place. Remember that. And so once you can just say 63 hundredths, that should give you a clue to how to write that as a fraction. 63 over 100, okay? Let's do a different number. I'm going to stick with my black. I forgot. You can't see too well without it. Okay, 0 and, let's see, 2. Let's put a 2 there. Okay? It's only one digit there. And it lands in what place? Tenths. The tenths place. All right? It is in the tenths place. So I would say that it's just plain old 2 tenths. Good. 2 tenths. Tenths. Okay? All right. Now, what if I change that? If I didn't just have a 2 there, what if it was 24? Okay, so what if this number was really 0, decimal, 2, and a 4? Okay, and also I reminded you guys in class that you need to think of this as kind of money. In 4th grade, we're not going to have the extra digit behind here, which would end up being tens, hundreds, thousands. Not going there today, not today, not tomorrow, or the day after that. have just the hundredths place. All right. So when I reminded you guys earlier today, think of it as money. Okay. Think of it as money. We can just think of that as money. 24 cents is like 24 pennies out of 100, because 100 pennies make $1, right? So if I have only 24 pennies, that means I could have 2 dimes and 4 pennies. 2 dimes, which is the tenths place, and then 4 pennies. So this is kind of like the dimes, okay, and then pennies. All right, when we get to thousands, that is even smaller than pennies, okay, but we're not going there. So I would still say this is 24 out of 100, like 24 pennies out of 100. I can say it that way. Think of it as money if you need to, okay? So 24, remember the 4, what place is this 4 in? Always look at the very last digit. What place is that last digit in? That's right, hundredths, hundredths. So we would write this as simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as they say. 24 hundredths. 24 hundredths, okay? Now, real quick, we'll go back over the how to tell it, which is greater than or less than, all right? All right, if you have a number, say it's 0, 2, 7, okay? 27 hundredths. All right, now, I can have another number that is, let me put it over here, and say 43 hundredths. And let's add it. Nah, we'll wait. I'll add that next, okay? I don't want to overwhelm you too quick. So for me to figure this out, which one is greater than or less than, I can line these numbers up on top of each other and figure out the order from that way. Or you can just think of it like I had told you before as money. Which is the most if you have 43 cents or 27 cents? Of course, this one is going to be greater than that one. And I saw another teacher one time say, if you can't remember where the mouth goes, which one it eats. Of course, I always say it eats the one that is the biggest. You can think of it as this. This number, 2 dots on this side, and 1 dot on that side. This is the smaller number. It points to the smaller one because it's 1 on this side, 1 dot. 2 dots on this side, it opens to the bigger number. You can think of it that way, or once you get into bigger numbers, like I said, we're not going to do that in fourth, but once you get into bigger numbers, you'll need to know how to line them up too, to make sure you've got the right one that's the biggest or greater than, okay? So right here, if you're not thinking of it as money, you can go ahead and think of it this way. Line up that number and 43. All right, first step is 2 zeros. They're the same, so I don't know from that. But then we look at the next 2 numbers. They're different. Which one is bigger, 2 or the 4? Of course, the 4 is. So this is going to be our bigger number. 0 at 43 hundredths is greater than 0 and 27 hundredths. Okay? Now remember, if you come to a point to where these 2 numbers are the same, if these 2 numbers are the same, then that means we can't check with those 2 either. We need to go to the last one or the next number. Okay? And then we see this one is bigger, the 7. Okay, so then we will have the 0 and 27 is greater than the 0 and 23 hundredths. Okay? All right. Hopefully you guys have that. And let's do real quick because I love decimal fractions. Let's put this as a fraction. Remember, last digit is what we say. We say the last digit's place value. So 27 hundredths. And just like I said it, I'm going to put it, okay, 27 over 100. All right, let's do that one. That 3 is in the hundredths place. All right, so we're going to do 23 hundredths. All right, and same thing, if there was just one digit, can you see that? Yeah. Say, what have I used? Maybe a 9. The 9 is the last digit, and it is in the tenths. Right behind the decimal is the tenths place. So I would write that as 9/10. Just like I said it, I'm going to write it 9/10. Okay? All right, I hope that helps.